You're right guys, Mr. Juggy here. Welcome to a brand new Black Ops 3 versus video, and in today's video our two contestants are Gorod Krovi and Zetsubou Shima. So guys, if you do enjoy this video at any point, please drop a like, subscribe and comment in ways to improve my next Black Ops 3 video. But until then, if you don't actually know how this works, on the left of the border you will see a few list of like competition type things, and that is what I will be testing my maps on today and comparing it to see which is the best map. So let's just get straight into it, and the first point goes to whichever map has the best wonder weapon or collection of wonder weapons, and this point has to go to the one with the most ammo, the most amount of damage, how fun it actually is to use and acquire this weapon, which is why the point goes to Gorod Krovi and the Mark III ray gun. Everyone loved the original ray gun, and the trilogy is unbelievably powerful. The Mark I ray gun started it off with a nice simple advanced pistol, but then the second one, it was a burst fire, very powerful. But then the third one we got introduced to in Gorod Krovi, one of them was like a wave gun that could slow zombies down, but if you combined the power of one of the weapons with the other half of the Mark III ray gun, then you could create some sort of Gersh portal device, and it was a very powerful weapon, lots of ammo, very quick and easy to get around the map, and quite easy to acquire as well. You could acquire it very quickly, get it out of the box and pack a punch in it very quickly. Whereas Zetsubou Shima, it involved a bit of skill. You had to find the parts, make the whole wonder weapon, and then pack a punch in it. It was another Easter egg in itself, very difficult for the average player. The ammo count and damage that the knockoff Squirtfire did do in Zetsubou Shima wasn't actually all that good either, which is overall why it lost the point. The next point goes to replayability, how much it takes for you to get bored of a map, how much you actually want to replay the map, and this point again has to go to Gorod Krovi. There's so much to do in the map, but it somehow doesn't get repetitive. I don't know how it doesn't get repetitive, but it just doesn't. It's sort of natural. You're sort of playing it in the game. You don't have to water plants to acquire parts. You don't have to water little areas. It's nothing like that. It's more, you play the game, you kill the zombies, you get points. It all flows very nicely and it seems natural within playing zombies, but something with Zetsubou Shima just didn't feel natural. Why do I have to fill some little pot to water a plant, to turn on the power, to then turn the switch to go in the sewer? It's just all too much of a ball ache, and it shouldn't have to be done just to turn on the power, which is why the replayability point 100% goes to Gorod Krovi. The next point goes to size and how it actually impacts the enjoyability of the game. Both of these maps are very similar in size. Both of them doesn't really affect it. A map like Darice really does depend on its size because it makes the whole game flow quicker. You can get through rounds quicker, but both of these maps are a really good size. The whole gameplay is very balanced, but I think this point actually has to go to Zetsubou Shima because the size and the whole dynamics of the map also includes training spots, and Zetsubou Shima actually has better training spots, so this point has to go to Zetsubou Shima, making it 2-1 in the scoreline. The next point goes to looks and how good a map actually looks, how many colours are infused into the majestic looking map. In this point, again, unfortunately, Gorod Krovi has been caught up and Zetsubou Shima is getting the point because it had all these really nice colours. Yes, it was dark in areas, but then you had this really nice purple glow in this watery pool of element 115. It also had some very nice colour schemes to it. Yes, it was a bit mouldy, dark, dingy, but Gorod Krovi, it's all one setting, it's a bit stormy. Zetsubou Shima, it just has more colours, which is why it gets a point, and it is now 2-2. The next point goes to the Easter egg and how difficult, how well, how entertaining, and how it actually concludes the map. And this point has to go again to Gorod Krovi, just because it finally gets us talking to Dr. Monty, and it finally shows us how interesting he is and how much of a godlike character he really is. All we've been doing since we first heard of him in Shadow of Evil is speculating what he looks like, what job he has, and how he will contribute to the storyline. Never would I have guessed is he showing us, guiding us, and he actually be the one putting the drawings on the wall, giving us a mystery box, and actually helping us as much as he has. It's really, really interesting. Zetsubou no Shima was a bit of a dead end. We got a load of things that we didn't understand or didn't yet understand, and it was sort of a bit of a stale Easter egg. I never enjoyed doing it. However, I am thoroughly enjoying at least trying to complete this Gorod Krovi Easter egg, and I hope you are too. So that is finally why Gorod Krovi does get the point in the Easter egg round. The next point goes to whichever map is best suited to all types of players. Good, bad, professionals and leisurely players, and this point has to go to Gorod Krovi, once again storming the lead with 4-2 now on the scoreboards, because if you get Mark III ray gun out of the box, you're pretty much set until round 20 if you just sit in a corner. It is very easy to get high rounds on Gorod Krovi. You don't even have to pack a punch your weapons, whereas with Zetsubou no Shima, turning on the power is quite difficult for the average player. Obviously, you have to water all the plants, connect it, go in the sewer, grab the part, and do all this, and it's a bit much for someone who's playing zombies maybe once a week, can't really be bothered, or just doesn't actually know about all these channels like Mr. Dalek JD, no J456, and doesn't actually know that tutorials are online about these exact things that they are struggling with, which is why the suitable point has to go to Gorod Krovi. The next point up for grabs is for whichever map has the best storyline, and again it has to go to Gorod Krovi because, oh my god, it actually brought a tear to some of the community's eyes when Nikolai started explaining his story to his previous Nikolai 1.0 self. It is an extremely good storyline, and then the plot thickens with Dr. Monty and how he contributes to the storyline. It is all extremely interesting, and we still don't hear from Dr. Maxis. It all adds up to be one heck of a good storyline in an extremely good map, which is why it gets a point. Zetsubou no Shima's storyline was all a bit far-fetched. Why do we need to have these plants? Why are these plants included in zombies? We don't need it. Why is Takio's body engulfed in plants, and why is it, why? I just do not understand it. It's a shocking storyline in my opinion, but obviously that's just my opinion, and if you have a different one, please comment it in the section down below. But the next point indeed goes to perks, and this point has to go to Zetsubou no Shima, and the only reason is because you can get Widow's Wine for free in Zetsubou no Shima if you kill the spider. But on Gorod Krovi, you have to have some special on the house, maybe Perkaholic, to acquire yourself a Widow's Wine, because the Perka-Cola machine isn't actually in the map. You could hit the Wonder Sphere machine and try and get extremely lucky, but it's not very likely that you will acquire it, so you might need a Mega Gobblegum to acquire it. That is why the point has to go to Zetsubou no Shima. The next point is for bosses, and this point has to go to Gorod Krovi, just because the bosses are more creative, we haven't seen them before, and they're not stupid like a massive ogre plant. So guys, that will be the end of the video, and if you did enjoy, please drop a like, subscribe, and comment any ways to improve my next Black Ops 3 video. And these were the ending scores, so please drop a like if you agreed with the ending turnout of this video, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.